Welcome back, everybody. Robocon here, coming back at you with another Sword of Convallaria video. And today, we're going to talk Edda. We knew she was coming. Those that have access to the content creator server, they've forecasted that already. We had some leaks, and they even said it in the CN live stream that she was on the way. So we knew this was coming, but she's finally been officially announced. She's going to be dropping here on August 16th, and she'll be running until the 29th. So roughly 2 weeks. I think that's what we're going to be expecting for the debut characters. I don't know about the Destined banners. I think they want to give us all a shot to pull the characters we want to pull over there on the Destined banners and not go to the standard banner and just, hope and a dream. But anyhow, let's talk Edda. But before I do that, please go down, like, and subscribe my video. It helps me out a bunch. I'll be able to bring you more content here. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. So taking a look at Edda, what does she do for our team? So she's really an offensive support. She's kind of real good at amplifying our team's damage and making them do huge amounts of burst. And she's also a sub DPS because her trait here allows her to perform an assisting attack that deals physical damage to enemies surrounding her. So we have a offensive support sub DPS, which isn't too bad. She can actually support, it looks like, both physical and magic damage dealers, but I think she's better at supporting the magic damage dealers by far. I think if you have magic damage dealers on your account, like Beryl or Nungal, because she converts her physical damage into magical, that you could really kind of seriously consider weighing your option on if you want to pull Edda or not. So the big thing for Edda is that she's capable of dropping like her full load of debuffs to help damage amp in a single turn. Because you can see some of these are instants, and we'll take a look here at this at her skill tree and really go deeper into this here in just a little bit. But she doesn't have to ramp up like other supports that need to cast their buffs over multiple turns, which allows her some like great massive burst damage for mobile fights where you have to get around and you can't kind of hang out in one spot, especially like boss fights, elite type fights. She really excels at that stuff. So pushing weaponry trials or tarots or even some towers, because she can manipulate the battlefield by dropping boxes, she's going to do really well there. So what is difficult with her is that like positioning and order of spells that she casts looks like it's going to be really critical so you can be successful with her, or you could like potentially screw yourself over, especially with like poor placement of the boxes she can drop. I could see you really making it difficult for yourself on a battlefield or blocking you off from moving where you want to move if you don't have good like judgment of that and you're not planning in advance. I think she's one of those characters where at first glance you can kind of look at her kit here and say, oh, this makes sense to me, but I think it's going to really take some skill to get the most out of her, because you're going to want to be doing several things with her to do that, to get the most out of her. So first, let's look at her trait. So trait increases attack by 12% for all enemies within 5 squares of itself, which means you're going to get a 12% damage amp against enemies around you. And she does an assist attack causing 40% physical damage and can be launched up to 2 times per round. So it can be launched up to 2 times per round. Now, it's a 4-tile sub DPS shot that has the attack boost tacked onto it, because you're going to be within that 4-tile radius there for the 12% initially. This does go up to 5 tiles, and this 2 times each turn. It actually starts at 1 time each turn at 1 star, and then it ramps up to 2 times each turn as she goes, which kind of means that like getting her trait up, pulling multiple copies of her, doesn't really do much for your team as far as like what she wants to do in amplifying the damage that you're able to output. Getting more shots and more sub DPS is nice, but it's really not why she's on the field. Also, taking a look at her initial skill here, shield breaking shot, physical damage, selects an enemy within the cross range and deals 135% damage before attacking. Gains shield breaker 4, lasts for 1 round. So a big shield break shot is what she comes out with out the gate in her skills. I really think that's going to get replaced though, because looking at our level 1 skills, we have some cool level 1 skills. I really like this construction skill. It's an instant. You summon a crate basically in an area, and then it stays on the battlefield. You're able to hop up on that, and that gives you highland advantage when you're attacking any enemies from there, which is a damage increase. Again, she increases damage. That's what her kit is about. Her other skill here is shield break. She has a shield break basically against enemies and increases her shot by 30% and ignores 40% of defense. Translation on this is kind of poor, so bear with me here. Her level 3 skills are really great though. I think you might be taking both of these. I love throwing barrel. I love guiding light. I think construction's great as well. So guiding light grants all allies within 3 squares of the player the ability damage 3 up, magic defense 2 up, and move 1 up, and lasts for 2 rounds. Dispels all targets' interference. Now, this was on her splash sheet here, and it says it's attack up, which is fine because all the percentages in this game so far have been additive that I've seen. So attack up would be fine because it's going to be attack of both types, right? Magic and P attack. M defense up, movement up to all allies surrounding her, and cleanses all disruptions. And that's confirmed here. Dispels all targets. A full body dispel is fantastic. We've seen, dispels 2, dispels 1, all that type of stuff. A full dispel can be clutch in some situations, especially like in the weapon trial where you're getting the realm put on you or whatever the hell it is. I don't remember off the top of my head. I do have a guide on it though. You can go take a look at that. Her other skill, throwing barrels, physical damage is an instant, dealing 20% damage to all enemies within 3 squares of the target and turning the terrain square into liquor. So that's this here. It's called wine barrel casting in our side, on the global side, it looks like. So that's really cool. The liquor effect, if you don't know, in the game makes like their speed go down massively and their movement go down. So it really bunches those enemies up so they can't get out of a choke point or something to that effect. So that's super cool. It also does some damage as well. Then her reaction, she has cover advantage. So if she's by like an object, like an interactable object, she gets reduced damage taken by 40%. I think that's probably going to be the reaction you go with. Her other one kind of adds on to her sub DPS kit where she has a counter attack. She can just shoot back. Level 7 skills are really great too. So she has defense break. Before attacking a single target, there's a 50% chance to inflict physical defense down 2, lasting 2 rounds. So this is where you can see the physical damage amplification. As she shreds that armor, you're able to get more and more through. Also, street fight, existing within 1 circle of the user. The attack is, you have to be within range of like a box or something. This is why she summons a box. That's what thing means. The attack is increased by 15%. After the active attack, it can move 2 squares. So she makes other people move. They can do an attack and then move 2 squares. That's cool. Level 9 or rank 9. These are her basic attack swaps. So she has a shield break arrow, causes 100% physical damage before attacking, and gains shield break 1. So she's able to penetrate those shields. She is a ranged character as well. She uses crossbows and bows. And then Dispel Arrow, normal attack, deals 100% physical damage and dispels 2 buffs on the target. That's awesome. She's stripping buffs. Again, she's stripping enemies and making them weaker to amplify your damage to them. Lastly, we have our rank 11 skill, Take Up Arms, which is a support skill. It restores 1 energy to allies within 4 squares of her, which is really big. And she gets assistance attack. Her assist attack damage increases by 120%. The maximum number of times it can take effect per round increases by 2, and it lasts for 1 round. So increases by 2, which means if she's 1 star and she's rank 11 and she has this, that's 3 shots she can get off assisting attack around if any of the allies within 4 squares of her gets dinked, right? This goes up to 4 times per round in a 5-tile radius at the 3-star breakpoint. So that's kind of interesting. Let's look at her other ability, Storm Sniper. Physical damage, selects an enemy within the cross range and deals 120% damage. Damage increases by 10% for every additional square of distance to the target. Adjacent distance counts as 0 squares. This is very reminiscent of what Nungol does. We've seen this before. I don't think that's going to be the go-to. I think it'll be take up arms, but we're going to have to play with her. Like I said, I don't want to give you definitives and in-depth build guides until I actually touch these characters and get a couple hours in with them at the very least, right? Another thing to take note of, this throwing barrel has magic defense shred on it. So it brings your magic defense down by 40%. So when you throw out that liquor, not only are you lowering their speed and their move, you're shredding their magic defense by 40%, which is why she's better with magic damage dealers than with physical. Because she can only shred Phys 2 defense down here, but she can shred 40% there. And there's some combos with her where you can pop out a box, throw out a barrel, and set up a guy like a barrel or a Nungol to get out there and just rock some damage into them. She can also put on the like calamity bottle or whatever it's called, disaster bottle, and like get the RNG for debuffs that can help out that way. So she is hands down a support / sub DPS. If that's what you need in your team, and if you're rocking these magic characters, she might just be for you. But let's consider this. You're free to play. Right now we have access to Gloria. Do you pull on Gloria and get her at 1 star, or do you save and get Edda? I'm going to be real. I'd pull Gloria 100% of the time. What she does is she's more unique. She's more versatile. She's more of a toolbox. She can do damage and buff and tank. Whereas Edda here, she supports really well and she does some assistant attack, but that's really it. Like, she's not tanking anything. She's not putting out a bunch of damage herself. She is just amplifying that barrel to blast choo-choo-choos into somebody's face, or to, do the meteor storm in one turn in a wine barrel area that does a bunch of nuke damage, which seems cool. But I think Gloria adds more to your roster. And if you were free to play, I would pull on Gloria now and not Edda. And if you get your Gloria and you have some left over, maybe put a couple pulls into Edda. Now, if you're a Dolphin or a light spender and you want to try and go for Edda, I think she can be an awesome addition to your roster. And most people that are light spenders probably did pull for Barrel until they got her and already have a Gloria. So Edda can really help you out, especially now because the banners are still 2 weeks apart. We're going to be a while before we ramp up to getting like Karis, who's like another great magic defense person, or someone else that does what Edda does, but slightly better, or one of the higher rank tier characters. Right now, Edda's like, it depends on where you look. She can be a tier 0 support, or she can be a tier 0.5, and that's on the CN side, so she has longevity underneath her. But a Gloria is a definitive tier 0. Like, that is why I would pull her now and get her. And then, like I said, if you're free to play or a light spender and you're kind of on the fence, then pull Edda if you get some like additional rewards from the events are coming, and, pop a couple pulls into her. You have to be aware. Let's take a look at this. So the unit release order, you have to be aware that Simona, Sophia, August, and Coco are coming. These 3 characters alone, Sophia, August, Coco, they're all fantastic characters. You see them used everywhere when you look at CN gameplay. They're in everybody's list for real-time PvP. They're characters that you're going to want to have on hand. Really, all the characters coming down the line, Akambe, Homa, Karis, Tristan, definitely Tristan, Rowea, Alter, Agatha, they're all fantastic. We have such a great lineup of characters coming. But, like I said, so final verdict, free to play, secure Gloria first, secure a Barrel, and then if you have leftover, get a Edda. If you're a Dolphin or a light spender and you feel like pulling her, she's a cool character, definitely pull her. If you're a whale, you're probably just going to whale anyhow, so you do you. I will caveat all that by saying, if you just like the character, go ahead and do that too. I don't really think there's any wrong answer in this game. I've posted a couple guides, like a Tower 9.5, where I'm beating stuff. You know, it's a no-hit run, right? You're not tanking anything. You're pushing stuff off corners for the most part. She'll really help in like weapon trial where you need the DPS, but you know, that's my thoughts about it. Tell me what you think about it. And again, please like and subscribe and have a great day.